Take me to the airport, she said, sliding into my back seat. But this wasn't the composed Dr. Lisa Morrison I'd been driving twice a week for 8 months. Her hands were trembling, her voice was cracked, and for the first time ever, she looked scared. David, she said, meeting my eyes in the rearview mirror, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest. Do you trust me? What happened next turned my simple Uber driver routine into the most dangerous and romantic night of my life. Hi, I'm David Chen. I'm 24 years old and I work as an Uber driver in Seattle. For the past 8 months, I've been picking up Dr. Lisa Morrison twice a week, Tuesday and Friday mornings at 6:30 a.m. from her downtown apartment, taking her to Seattle General Hospital. Same routine. She'd slide into the back seat, say, "Good morning, David," work on her tablet, and tip me exactly 20%. I'm 24, she's 35. I drive Uber, she saves lives. We lived in completely different worlds, until the night that changed everything. For 8 months, I'd had the chance to observe Dr. Lisa Morrison. Every Tuesday and Friday morning at 6:30 a.m., I'd park in front of her luxury apartment building and spend those waiting minutes studying the surroundings. Upscale building, doorman, security system. Lisa always came out right on time, dressed in professional suits, walking confidently to my car. The first few months, she was just another customer. Polite, professional, distant. But gradually I started noticing small details. How she held her umbrella on rainy days, the tone of her voice during phone calls, the way she furrowed her brow when concentrating on her tablet. By the 4th month, I realized I was developing feelings for her. Tuesday and Friday mornings became my favorite times. I'd wake up early, carefully clean my car, plan the best route, and look forward to seeing her. But of course, I never told her anything. She was a successful doctor. I was just an Uber driver. In the 6th month, something happened. Lisa was crying on the phone. Quietly, she looked at me in the rearview mirror and said, "Sorry, David. Bad day." That day I told her, "Feel better, Dr. Morrison. Tomorrow will be better." For the first time, she gave me a genuine smile. In the 7th month, she saw me waiting outside the hospital. I was parked outside, waiting for another customer. She came over and knocked on the window. "David, what are you doing here?" she asked. "Waiting for another customer," I said. "Do you always wait here?" she wondered. "No, just this area gets good customers," I lied. The truth was I was waiting there, hoping to see her again. By the 8th month, we developed a quiet friendship, good morning greetings, weather comments, small complaints about traffic. Lisa had started being warmer. She'd also increased her tip to 25%. And that night came, September 23rd, Thursday, 11:47 p.m. My phone buzzed with a notification. Lisa M. requesting pickup. Strange. Lisa had never called for a night ride. She always made advance reservations, always during morning hours, always the same route. But this time was different. When I arrived at her building, she wasn't waiting at the curb like usual. Instead, she came running out of the building with panic in her eyes and a small travel bag in her hand. "David," she shouted, jumping into the car. Thank you so much." "Dr. Morrison, is everything okay?" I asked. I'd never seen her like this. She was always calm, always in control, always professional. "Airport," she said, breathing heavily. "Please, it's urgent." I looked in the mirror. Her face was pale, her hands still trembling. She'd changed out of her scrubs into civilian clothes, but it was obvious she'd dressed hastily. "Dr. Morrison?" "Lisa," she corrected me. "After tonight, just Lisa." I started the engine, but didn't move. "Lisa, I'm not taking you anywhere until you tell me what happened. I've known you for 8 months. You're never like this." Her eyes welled up. "David, do you trust me?" "Of course." "Stop, then please. Don't ask questions. Just take me to the airport. I'll explain everything later." We started driving. Seattle's night traffic was typical, but the tension inside the car was palpable. Lisa kept looking back, checking her phone and watching out the windows. "David," she finally said, "after tonight, you'll probably never see me again. But I want you to know this. You're a good person. For 8 months, you treated me with respect. Never asked personal questions, never crossed boundaries. People like you are rare in this city." My heart raced. "Lisa, what do you mean? Where are you going?" "I don't know," she said quietly. "Just far away." Just then, her phone rang. An unknown number appeared. "Don't answer," Lisa said, panicking. "It's them." "Who?" Hospital security, they're looking for me. The phone went silent, but immediately rang again, this time Lisa's phone. Dr. Morrison, said a distant voice. Where are you? You need to return to the hospital. I'm at home. I'm sick, Lisa said with a shaky voice. Security cameras show you leaving. Return to the hospital immediately. Lisa hung up. David, please drive fast. We need to get to the airport before they find me. As we approached the airport, Lisa suddenly said, Stop. Keep the engine running. Don't drop me at the terminal entrance. We pulled over. Lisa grabbed her bag, but didn't get out. David, I'm going to tell you something, and I need you to listen very carefully. I discovered some things at the hospital, very dangerous things. Drug trials, patient records, fake research results. People get killed for this stuff. I froze. What? I collected evidence, recorded everything, but now they know. That's why I'm running. Lisa, you can go to the FBI, police. No, she said, shaking her head. This is too big. Hospital administration, pharmaceutical companies, even some federal officials are involved. I can't trust anyone. She leaned forward from the back seat, putting her hand on my shoulder. But I trust you, David. For 8 months, you had the chance to observe me. You drove a lot of wealthy customers, but never tried to flirt with any of them. You never disrespected any of them. You're different. I turned to look at her. What do you want from me? Come with me. The words stuck in my throat. What? I know it sounds crazy. I'm a 35-year-old successful surgeon. You're a 24-year-old Uber driver. Normally, we'd never move in the same circles. But tonight, in this situation, I need you, David. Lisa, think about it. Think about where she said, what are you going to miss in Seattle? Uber driving, $3,000 monthly salary, small studio apartment rent? She was right, but my pride was hurt. I may be poor, but no, she said immediately. You misunderstood. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about security. Because if you come with me, I can offer you a new life, and my feelings for you too. I stopped. Your feelings? She smiled. For the first time in 8 months, I saw a real smile from her. David, are you really that naive? Why do you think a woman uses the same driver for 8 months? With hundreds of Uber drivers in Seattle, why do I always call you? Why do I tip 20% every time? Why do I always sit in the back seat watching you in the rearview mirror? My heart felt like it would stop. I never noticed. Because you're a gentleman. Because you know professional boundaries. Because when I first saw you, something stirred inside me and you weren't even aware of it. She put her hand on my cheek. Tonight everything changed, David. No more hiding. I'm in love with you, and if you come with me, you won't just be saving me from danger. You'll be making me happy too. I collected evidence, recorded everything, but now they know. That's why I'm running. Lisa, you can go to the FBI, police. No, she said, shaking her head. This is too big. Hospital administration, pharmaceutical companies, even some federal officials are involved. I can't trust anyone. She leaned forward from the back seat, putting her hand on my shoulder. But I trust you, David. For 8 months, you had the chance to observe me. You drove a lot of wealthy customers, but never tried to flirt with any of them. You never disrespected any of them. You're different. I turned to look at her. What do you want from me? Come with me. The words stuck in my throat. What? I know it sounds crazy. I'm a 35-year-old successful surgeon. You're a 24-year-old Uber driver. Normally, we'd never move in the same circles. But tonight, in this situation, I need you, David. Lisa, think about it. She said, what are you going to miss in Seattle? Uber driving, $3,000 monthly salary, small studio apartment rent? She was right, but my pride was hurt. I may be poor, but no, she said immediately. You misunderstood. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about security, because if you come with me, I can offer you a new life, and my feelings for you too. I stopped. Your feelings? She smiled. For the first time in 8 months, I saw a real smile from her. David, are you really that naive? Why do you think a woman uses the same driver for 8 months? With hundreds of Uber drivers in Seattle, why do I always call you? Why do I tip 20% every time? Why do I always sit in the back seat watching you in the rearview mirror? My heart felt like it would stop. I never noticed. Because you're a gentleman. Because you know professional boundaries. Because when I first saw you, something stirred inside me and you weren't even aware of it. She put her hand on my cheek. Tonight, everything changed, David. No more hiding. I'm in love with you. And if you come with me, you won't just be saving me from danger. You'll be making me happy too. I don't just want you, David. I need you. For 8 months, seeing you every morning was the best part of my day. I don't want to build a new life without you. We reached Belltown. Marcus's house looked small but secure. He was waiting at the door. FBI badge, big build, serious guy. Lisa, where's the evidence? Lisa pulled out a USB from her bag. Everything's here. Patient records, fake research results, payment documents, audio recordings. Marcus examined the USB. Perfect. Heck, with this evidence, we'll put them away for life. So who's this young man? This is David, my partner. Marcus looked at me suspiciously. Partner? Lisa, being admitted to witness protection as a couple is very rare. He's coming with me, Marcus. No negotiation on this. Marcus smiled. Understood. David, are you ready for a new life? I looked at Lisa. There was hope in her eyes. Yes, I said. I'm ready. The next day, Seattle police and FBI took action. 5 people from hospital administration were arrested. DevCore Pharmaceutical Company's CEO and 3 executives were detained. It was big news on TV. Human experiment scandal at local hospital. We were hiding in Marcus's safe house at the time. Lisa and I had our first real chance to talk. David, she had said that morning, last night I asked you for something huge. I asked you to leave your entire life behind. Are you sure about this decision? Lisa, I had said, if you asked me what I've done in Seattle for the past 8 months, I couldn't give you a proper answer. I worked, earned money, got by. But I realized I wasn't living. The only moments I lived were Tuesday and Friday mornings, the moments I drove you. Her eyes had filled up. That really? I always wondered how I could approach you. But you were so unreachable. Now you're approaching me. I won't miss this chance. 3 days later, we were in Portland. New identities, Lisa and David Johnson, married couple. Lisa would start as a pediatrician at a new hospital, and I would work as a driver at a local cargo company. David, Lisa said one evening, sitting in our small apartment, I want to ask you something. Sure. I was surprised how quickly you made the decision. A normal person would run away when they heard FBI, witness protection, new identity. I smiled. Lisa, can I tell you something? For 8 months, every Tuesday and Friday morning, I'd make my bed at 6:25 a.m. I'd clean my car, plan the best route, just to take a 15-minute ride with you. Really? You thought you were watching me in the rearview mirror, but I was watching you too. The way you bit your lip when working on your tablet, your laugh during phone conversations, your profile reflected in the back window. She took my hand. I was in love with you too, Lisa, but you were so unreachable. Successful doctor, me ordinary driver. I never thought I had a chance. And now, I moved closer to her. Now we live in the same apartment, carry the same last name, and are married in the federal government's eyes. I guess I finally found my chance. Our first kiss happened that evening. 9 months of build-up, 3 days of escape, and finally real love. We lived in Portland for 2 years. Lisa was very successful at her hospital, and I was happy with my job at the cargo company. But most importantly, we really knew each other, really loved each other. During that period, the days we lived in Portland were the most peaceful times of my life. Lisa would wake up early and go to the hospital. I worked day shifts at the cargo company. In the evenings, we'd meet at home, cook dinner, watch movies, make future plans. Lisa's success at work surprised everyone. Within 3 months, she'd become one of the most beloved doctors at the hospital. She was especially successful with child patients. The children called her Magic Doctor. I was also rising rapidly at the cargo company. I'd started as a driver and moved to the route planning department after 3 months. The boss said, David, your organizational skills are very good. You're using what you learned at Uber here too. Marcus regularly checked on us. The hospital case is completely closed, he said one day. 5 executives got prison sentences. The pharmaceutical company paid $500 million in compensation. You're safe now. What does this mean? I asked. If you want, you can return to your old identities. If you want, you can stay in Portland. The decision is yours. Lisa looked at me. What do you want, David? I want you, Lisa, wherever we are. But that night we talked for a long time. Return to Seattle or stay in Portland, use our real identities, or continue as the Johnson family. David, Lisa said, I missed returning to Seattle. I have friends there, colleagues. I'm happy in Portland, but Seattle is my home. What about security? Marcus said the case was closed. No one's following us anymore. Then let's return to Seattle, but not as David Chen and Dr. Lisa Morrison. Let's return as David and Lisa Johnson. New life, new beginning. That evening, Lisa proposed to me. David Chen, she said, kneeling down. You saved me. You saved my life. You saved love. Will you marry me? For real? Yes, I said, unable to hold back my tears. Of course, yes. Our wedding was a small ceremony in Portland. Marcus was our witness. Friends from Lisa's hospital also came. But the most special part was that my old Uber customers from Seattle also came. David, said my old customer Tom. Yeah. Were you that Uber driver in love with Lisa? The whole city is talking about your story. Turns out I'd become a legend in Seattle. The story of Uber driver in love with his customer had gone viral on social media. News channels had covered it. We're very happy, Lisa said. David is my hero. No, I said. We're each other's heroes. We spent our honeymoon in Vancouver. Lisa had never been to Canada, and I was using a passport for the first time. A week of just the two of us, just love, just future plans. David, she said one evening, watching the sunset at English Bay, I want to tell you something. What? I'm pregnant. My heart stopped. Really? 3 weeks along. Still very early, but I'm sure. I picked her up and spun her around. Lisa Johnson, you're an amazing woman. David Johnson, you're going to be an amazing father. When we returned to Seattle, we started building our new life. Lisa started working at Seattle Children's Hospital. I also had a plan for myself. I was going to start my own company. The SafeRide idea was born during our honeymoon. David, Lisa had said, your Uber experience is very valuable, but Uber has shortcomings too. Security, personalization, trust. You could do something better in these areas. Within 6 months, I developed the SafeRide app. We founded the company with 3 friends. Alternative to Uber, but safer, more personal, more reliable. Our most special feature was the regular customer system. If you were taking regular rides with a customer, the system would automatically match you with the same driver, just like Lisa and me. When Emma was born, the company was 3 months old. Lisa took 3 months off after birth, and I focused on the company full-time during that period. Emma's first 3 months were wonderful. Night feedings, diaper changes, putting her to sleep. Everything was new, but beautiful. David, Lisa said one night, after putting Emma to sleep, this little girl is our miracle. She has parents who met in an Uber. How will we tell her when she grows up? We'll tell her the truth. Mom and Dad met in a car. Dad saved Mom, Mom saved Dad. And then Emma was born. When Emma turned 3, SafeRide had become Seattle's second largest rideshare app. We now had 200 drivers and were doing 1,000+ rides per day. During that period, the Seattle Times did an interview with us. The article titled, Technology Company Born from Love received great attention. Mr. Johnson, the reporter said, where did the idea to start SafeRide come from? I used to be an Uber driver, I said. I met my regular customer. Now she's my wife. SafeRide systematizes that feeling of trust and closeness. Have there been other love stories? We hear about 3 to 4 per month on average, relationships that start between our drivers and customers. Of course, we don't encourage this, but natural processes happen. When Emma was 4, Lisa got pregnant again. This time, we were expecting twin boys. David, she said one evening, showing the ultrasound photo, what should we name them? How about Marcus and Oliver? Marcus from the agent who protected us. Oliver is your grandfather's name. Perfect, she said, smiling. When the twins were born, SafeRide had already expanded to Portland and Vancouver. The company valuation exceeded $10 million. I had become a successful entrepreneur at 29. But my real success was my family, Lisa, Emma, Marcus, and Oliver, the 5-person Johnson family. Emma adapted very well to the twins. Mom, she said one day, will Marcus and Oliver also meet in Uber? Lisa laughed. No, honey, they're brothers. They'll grow up together. But when I grow up, I want to be an Uber driver like Daddy. Emma, I said, Daddy isn't an Uber driver anymore. Now he's a company owner. Then I'll be a company owner too. When the twins were 6 months old, we opened SafeRide's San Francisco office. We were now the fastest growing rideshare company on the West Coast. During that period, a big article came out in TechCrunch, From Uber Driver to Tech CEO, David Johnson's Love Story Success. The article read, David Johnson's story is the perfect combination of modern love and entrepreneurship. A journey that started as an Uber driver has resulted in a technology company worth $50 million today. When Emma turned 5, she asked me one day, "Daddy, why do you and Mommy always smile? Because we love each other very much, Emma. How did you meet?" Mommy was healing sick people. Daddy was driving people around in a car. One day, Mommy told Daddy she needed help. Daddy said, "Of course I'll help." And that's how we met. What happened then? Then we got married, you were born, Marcus and Oliver were born, and now we're one big happy family. When I grow up, I'll take Mommy's patients to the hospital in Daddy's car. Lisa and I laughed. Emma's imagination was limitless. When SafeRide turned 6, we were operating in 12 cities. 2,000 drivers, 15,000 rides daily. Company valuation exceeded $150 million. But most importantly, we had a SafeRide Love Stories blog section. We shared stories of couples who met through the app. By then, 47 couples had gotten married, 12 children had been born. "David," Lisa said one evening after putting the kids to bed, "I think we started a revolution." How so? Love stories became normal in the rideshare industry. Even Uber is trying to copy our love connection feature. "Let them copy," I said, smiling. "Our story is real. Theirs is marketing." When Emma was 7, she had told about our family in a school project. Her teacher had called. "Mrs. Johnson," she said, "Emma's project was very interesting. She told your family's story. Is this real?" "Yes," Lisa said. "Why did you ask?" The children had trouble believing it. Meeting on Uber seemed too modern to them. That evening, we asked Emma, "What did your friends say about your project?" Sarah said her parents met on Facebook. Mike said his parents were high school sweethearts. I said, "You met on Uber." We were the most modern. When the twins turned 3, we made SafeRide's first international expansion, London office, entry into the European market. During that time, we got an offer for a case study from Harvard Business School. The case study, titled SafeRide, From Love Story to Global Tech Company, would be taught to MBA students. "Professor Williams," I said on the phone, "will you come to Boston for the case study?" "Of course. Your story is the best examples of modern entrepreneurship." On the day of the Harvard presentation, the whole family went. Emma, Marcus, and Oliver. Lisa was also with me. Speaking in front of 200 MBA students, I said this: "You don't have to have a technology background to build a successful company. Sometimes the strongest motivation is love." I didn't start SafeRide to make money, but to share the beautiful experience I had with my wife with others. A student asked, "Mr. Johnson, what role does your personal story play in SafeRide's success?" "Very big," I said. "Our customers aren't just buying transportation, they want to be part of a story. They hope that maybe they'll find their love too." That night at the hotel we stayed at in Harvard, Lisa had said to me, "David, did you notice? Tonight is almost the 10-year anniversary of when we met in that Uber." "Really? Was it September 23rd? "Yes. 10 years ago today you asked me, 'Do you trust me?' And you said, 'Of course.' Do you still trust me?" "More than ever." That night on the hotel balcony looking at Seattle, we talked about future plans. Growing SafeRide even more, maybe even going public. "David," Lisa said, "sometimes I wonder, what if I hadn't called you that night?" "But you did." "What if you decided not to come with me?" "But I did." "What if the FBI operation had failed?" "But it succeeded." "Isn't it a miracle that we're this lucky?" "No, Lisa," I said. "This isn't luck. This is courage. You showed the courage to trust me that night. I showed the courage to confess my love for you. Brave people create their own luck." When Emma turned 9, SafeRide's valuation exceeded $500 million. We were now operating in 25 cities, 5 countries. That year, Time magazine put me on the 40 under 40 list. David Johnson, 35, from Uber driver to tech billionaire. But what I was most proud of was Emma's school project. In a composition titled My Hero, she wrote about me. "My hero is my dad, David Johnson. He used to be an Uber driver, now he owns a big company, but the best part is that he and my mom fell in love. They taught me that love can be found anywhere. In a car, in a hospital, at school, everywhere. And when you find love, you shouldn't lose it." Reading Emma's composition brought tears to my eyes. "Lisa," I said, "are we teaching our children the right values? We're teaching them the best values," she said. Courage, trust, love, family. When the twins turned 5, we had a big celebration at home, SafeRide's 10th anniversary. Marcus asked, Daddy, what does SafeRide mean? It means safe journey. Why did you choose this name, Fried? Cool. Because Daddy had a very dangerous journey the night he first met Mommy, but in the end, they reached a safe place. SafeRide helps everyone have safe journeys. Oliver also asked, Daddy, can I work at SafeRide when I grow up? Of course, I said, but first you have to finish school. Will Marcus work too? Whatever Marcus wants. Maybe he wants to be a doctor like Mommy. What do I want to be? What do you want to be? I want to be an Uber driver like you used to be. Lisa laughed. Oliver, Daddy isn't an Uber driver anymore. I know, but Daddy always says my best days were when I was an Uber driver. That's why I want to be like that too. That evening, Lisa and I talked for a long time. Kids were growing up. SafeRide was successful. We were happy as a family. But something was missing. David, Lisa said, I want to tell you something. What? I want to get pregnant again. I was surprised. Really? Aren't 3 kids enough? This will be the last one, but I want us to have a 4th child, complete pairs, 2 girls and 2 boys. Are you sure? Very sure. And this time I feel it's going to be a girl. 6 months later, Lisa really did get pregnant, and the ultrasound result, baby girl. What should we name her? I asked. Hope, Lisa said, because she's the final piece of our hope. When Hope was born, Emma was 10, the twins were 6. The house was very crowded, but very happy. Emma was very attached to Hope. Daddy, she said, when Hope grows up, I'll tell her our story. How Mommy and Daddy met on Uber, how they escaped together, how they got married. The story is very long, Emma. Maybe we can shorten it. No, Daddy. Beautiful stories are long. Short stories are boring. When SafeRide turned 12, we decided to go public. IPO preparations began. Goldman Sachs valuation, $2.5 billion. David, Lisa said one evening, if the IPO happens, you'll be a billionaire. We'll be billionaires, I said. This success belongs to both of us. 12 years ago, no one in that Uber could have predicted this ending. I could have predicted it, I said, smiling. Really? No, I said, laughing. I never could have predicted it, but I knew this. As long as I was with you, anything was possible. SafeRide's IPO became 2024's biggest tech IPO. On the first day, the stock price rose 150%. Company valuation exceeded $4 billion. But the most beautiful moment was what Emma said that evening. Daddy, are we very rich now? Yes, Emma, we're rich. What does this mean? Now we won't have financial worries. We can vacation wherever we want. You can study at whatever schools you want. But will you still take me to school with Uber? I laughed. Emma, we don't use Uber anymore. We use SafeRide. But I want to go with your car, just like Mommy used to. And that's when I understood. Money, success, fame, none of these were as important as family. Of course, Emma, I said. I'll take you to school every morning. Now it's the end of 2024. Emma is 11, the twins are 7, Hope is 1. SafeRide is the world's 3rd largest rideshare company. I'm 40, Lisa is 51. Every morning when I take Emma to school, I use the same route. We leave our house, go through Pine Street, and arrive at school, just like I used to take Lisa to the hospital. Daddy, Emma said last week, is there anything you regret? No, Emma. Do you? Me neither. But I wonder, what if Mommy hadn't called you that night? Then this story wouldn't exist. Would there be another story? Maybe, but it wouldn't be this beautiful. Why is this story so beautiful, Daddy? Because this story has love, courage, family, and most importantly, it's real. Will I have a story like this when I grow up? If your heart is open, if you're brave, if you trust the right person, yes, you will. Last month, we passed by the front of the old apartment building, the building where Lisa used to live. Now other people live there. This is, I said to Emma, where your Mommy used to live. I used to pick her up here every morning. And now you pick me up here every morning. You're right. Life continues like this. Stories continue. Today, sitting on our home balcony, I'm writing this story. Lisa is feeding Hope, the twins are playing in the garden, Emma is doing her homework. SafeRide now operates in 50 cities, 15 countries, 500,000 rides daily, and we hear an average of 20 love stories every month. But none are as beautiful as ours, because our story isn't just a love story. This is a story of courage. This is a story of trust. This is a story of the power of family. And most importantly, this is a story that hasn't ended yet. Emma will grow up, go to university, maybe find her own love, The twins will also grow up, chart their own paths. Hope will also grow up, build her own dreams. And Lisa and I will still be here, still loving each other. Still remembering the question she asked that night in the Uber, "Do you trust me?" Yes, Lisa, I trust you. 12 years later, I still trust you. And thanks to this trust, we're living the most beautiful family story. This is our story, David and Lisa Johnson's story. The story that started in an Uber and will last forever.